Hello, I'm attorney Dan Marr from the national law firm of Hamlin and Kerrigan. I've been practicing law here in New Hampshire for approximately 36 years and in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for approximately 28 years. Licensed in both, actively practiced in both. I'm going to be talking today about the benefits and the importance of having some limited health estate planning for young adults. If you're in a situation, sometimes if it's you or it's perhaps your child, you're thinking the child's in college or the young adult, you're in college, why? Or maybe you're in your first job and you're living paycheck to paycheck, you have an apartment, you don't have any assets, you're young and healthy, why should you bother having any basic estate planning? And I'm going to be talking about the importance of the durable healthcare power of attorney or durable power of attorney for healthcare. And in New Hampshire, it's that healthcare proxy is another term for it. We deal with them in Massachusetts as well. What it does is it basically you pick out somebody that you want to be your decision maker if you're not able to make decisions for your healthcare. You might also, if you have financial issue, things like you want to pay your bills, if something happens to you, you might have also the durable health or power of attorney for financial matters, for regular matters. But that may not be as much of a concern. You may not care about if something happens to you, about your car loan being paid or your rent being paid if you get catastrophic injury and you go into a hospital. But you should care about decisions being made for you if you can't make decisions yourself, rather than burdening your parents to go in and get what's called a guardianship to make decisions as to everything from the care you get to whether or not your life should be ending, and you can deal with that with what's called an advance directive with a living will, where you can go into the details of this stuff. You should think about those situations, and you can there are forms that are available. Both hospitals and doctors have some of the forms that are for the durable healthcare power of attorney. You can look at those and you can make some decisions on that, so you don't have to pay for an attorney on this. This is more of a public service announcement for this. If you do have an attorney or your parents have an attorney, you might want to add that to part of the estate plan to consider that issue. If you're going to decide to go with your parents as to making the decision for your healthcare powers. If you don't have a good relationship with your parents, but you do have somebody else that's a confidant in your relationship, you can have a conversation with them about the possibility, the limited, unlikely possibility, but if something was to happen, would they make decisions for you? And of course, if you're both 21-year-olds, probably not a good choice to pick the 21-year-old, but somebody that's a little more senior, that might be somebody that you trust in that situation. Those are important. There's a foundation, Bailey's Wish Foundation, and there's a book that comes out with Bailey's, is B-A-Y-L-I-E''S. Google it. You'll see about a tragic story about a woman who was only 19 years old when she succumbed to a catastrophic injury. She didn't, in the book that was dealt with by her mother, deals with the importance of having decision makers already ahead of time for if something happens like that. Obviously, most 19-year-olds are going to live till their 80s, hopefully, and there's not going to be any of these issues, but what you're doing is planning for the possibility of something happening. Also, there's a HIPAA release where there's a, for privacy rights, and the law is there to protect the privacy rights of everyone that's over 18. You can have a person that can look at your medical records so they can make some decisions for you. And again, often it's a parent, but if you're not in a good relationship with your parent, you can consider the possibilities of somebody else that's a confidant of yours to help you if you're in that situation. The financial power of attorney, you might be concerned about somebody taking advantage of that if it's not your parent or somebody else that's really trusted. But the healthcare power of attorney is one that's, and making those tough decisions of, do you want to have fluids provided to you when you are no longer, you're in a vegetative state mentally? Do you want life prolonging situation when your brain is effectively dead and you don't really know what's going on? That you're in a coma. Do you want that? Do you not want that? Those types of decisions you can make, or you can decide not to make those, but at least cover the issue of having a healthcare power of attorney for when you go into the hospital, somebody can make decisions as to your care. And again, the default should be your parents, but if you're not in a good relationship with your parent, you can think about another person. These forms are online and in doctor's offices, so take a look at them and plan ahead, because an example of the tragedy of this Bailey is one that everyone should consider and think about planning for the unlikely but possibility of something happening to you when you're a young adult and needing health care and not having to go to probate court, to guardianship, which I deal with for clients of ours when we don't have those documents signed beforehand. If you have any questions, you can call me at 603-883-5501, 603-883-5501, or check out our website, NashuaLaw, all one word.com, and I have a weekly vlog on a variety of legal topics. Look forward to working with you if the opportunity arises, and also if you were to work with us in regards to this, it would be our estate planning team. I deal with the court matters. Our estate planning team is well versed in all of these issues. Thank you.